Good evening and welcome to this League Highway to the Zenith Zone League Qualifier. I am Baka Shinobi and I am joined by Invenerable.
Hey everybody, how's it going tonight, Baka?
It's going pretty well. It's a fine night for a race. It was a fine morning as well, and I hope to see some good races tonight.
Oh yeah, we have a Porum start, so that's always a little spicy. One of the squishiest characters you can get rolling with. But we have four great racers who are going to really show us how to do it. dustygri, of course, is on his final race, already has 10 points, guaranteed a minimum of 11. Should put him squarely set to advance to the playoffs. Peasantsomfg has a first and a third for 6 points, but this is their third race. Dobby has second and second for also 6 points, both of them in great shape, having great averages thus far. And keddril, keddril's only done one race and took fourth in it, but was very narrow. It was only about 17 minutes between first and fourth place, so I think keddril still has a lot to show us over the course of their remaining 3 matches.
Oh yeah, and we see that this is a Porum Kane start with a magma key from a moon boss. This is going to be, there's a lot of options open at this start. Might want to do a fair bit of looting to find something for for both these characters, because you're not going to do a lot of DPS with a starting Kane, but you don't need much to go and get him to start rolling out the damage.
Yeah, one of the things that I love seeing a starting Kane just because it's so easy to find a workable weapon for him. He can wield any spear, any axe, any non-paladin sword. So really his main lack is that he can't use bows and arrows to get back row glitched. He gets heavy armor. Kane, all-time top-tier starting character in my book.
Yeah, he's definitely one of my favorites. Sid's pretty nice to start with. His weapon isn't terrible, but what we do see is a Rosa and guarded by a Demus. That's a load off these runners' mind, as they don't have to go hunting for them.
Yeah, no need to go into, these little one-off sections. You don't need to check the vanilla location. You don't need to go check the Octomammoth spot. And I'm pretty sure that the only way we're going to see the Giant in play is if anyone decides to do a frisky D-machine grind.
Oh yeah, they might want to, because you can go and just bring some characters up, and if you don't find anything exceptional for Kane, but you do find a Palom or Iridia, Nuke is a great spell to have. But we do see sorry?
And there's a Dwarf Axe in the back of Baron, so even Kane can get back row glitch now. It must be somebody's birthday, because Smapedy is bringing in all the wonderful presents this seed.
Or he's just lulling everyone to a false sense of security so he can crush their dreams easier.
Also a distinct possibility. So, you were mentioning with that magma key start, the world is wide open. We don't have the levels to tackle a lot of places yet, but there's definitely a ton of places we can loot, a ton of shops we can check. How do you like to balance these magma key starts, like powering your party up versus doing exploration?
I personally like to go and clear Antlion Cave quickly to go and see, like, can I get a pan from the underground for my trip to the underground, because I'll clear Antlion, go underground, hit the free spots in Fey March, and do the Sheila 1 check by talking to Yang in the Sil's Cave, then come back up, talk to the King in Fabul to get a free heal to recover all that tile damage, and then start clearing the overworld again.
Pretty slick little technique there, of course, because you do get the free heal in Fabul before and after the fight. I like it. I like it a lot. And, adding in one potential fewer dip. The worst case scenario there is that the King gives you the pan, but as long as he doesn't, you've saved yourself a trip. Now, I like this, though. Dusty actually playing hard into this Kane, saying, I don't need to loot Damcian. We have the gear. We can fly straight to Antlion. I'm not even going to release that hovercraft if I can help it this seed. If you don't make me use the hook, I'm not using the hook.
Yeah, that's definitely a bit of time to save on cutscenes. You don't need to go and pull it out. You don't really get much for it. It is a nice little thing to scoot around in. It flies very nicely. It goes over water. How can you not want to like it, Dusty? Maybe you'll have to tell us after the interview.
Well, the real fun thing to do is, of course, take it underground and fly it around the underground. Be like, hey, can you put some treads on this for me? I would like an actually forget the treads. Just put the cannon on it, and we'll be good, dwarves.
We can go and join in their assault on Babel.
Got a pale dim here. Should not be too bad.
No, and we see Dusty going and making use of the fact that Kane can equip knives and use that dancing dagger for some extra damage. It's not
Oh yeah, electing to use it for its item ability instead of, for instance, I mean, you could also probably jump with that Dwarf Axe. It's not the strongest weapon, but Kane jumping will do pretty good work on anything at this spot.
Oh yeah, this is not going to be a very fair fight for Paladin.
This is giving me flashbacks to vanilla doing pally runs where you always hope to kill the boss here in 3 dancing dagger attacks instead of 4. And yeah, Dusty gets it within 3, not 4.
And he gets music, so maybe he'll reward us with his good luck by going and giving us a little bit of music for us.
Probably not yet, though. This team is not one that I really want to carry over there just yet.
Yeah, Kane's not quite in the position to go and start beating down enemies, and that dancing dagger isn't going to do a lot to the boss in the Twin Harp spot, who has exceptionally high magic resistance. But maybe there's someone on Hobbs who's going to go and give us a better edge there, as Dusty's going straight there now. And it is Edward. Well, he's another person.
Resetting? Eddie? Oh, come on. All the Pard wants is to party. You don't want to add a musician to your entourage?
Maybe he doesn't want them to fight over the dancing dagger, because it's still the only thing Kane's really going to be doing damage with, I feel.
Also true. So at this point, of course, one very lucrative item that we could find somewhere in one of these shops would be sirens. We do have underground access, so that of course opens up the yellow dragon eggs on a few key peninsulas, which, you know, you do one of those, you get an extra 10 levels or so on your dragoon, and the overworld just falls under his might.
Oh yeah, and it'll get Berserk for Porum, which that's another thing that'll just make this go faster. Why go and push buttons when you can kill the game? Just hit everything for me.
Especially again with that back row glitched Kane, so you don't even have to worry about, oh, well, what if he hits, well, here you go. What if he hits the CPU instead of the defender? Well, in this case, you're doing that same damage no matter what row they're in at this point. Not that you'd want to Zerk him this fight, unless you're feeling really, really lucky.
Aw, come on. You can't tell me you just don't want to live on the edge and say, no, just don't hit that attacker 2, 3 more than one time.
I mean, my favorite Kane moment, and this is the reason why I may pick on him a little bit, just to tease a few of our members of the community who love him a bunch, but when I went into Dwarf Castle once with him with an Avenger equipped, and he hit the CPU part, it was at least 6 times in a row. Like, he never once swung at the attacker. I was so proud.
Kane showing he knows where the true heart of the computer is, and he wants it dead.
So keddril here going ahead and opening up the underground. Dusty's kind of following more of a vanilla route here through the overworld, but keddril thinks it's time to short circuit the usual route and see what we can find underground, either loot or good stuff in shops, or even the free key item checks that we can check on already.
Oh yeah, I like this. I like going and seeing those free item checks, because it might not go and be a key item, but it could be a very powerful weapon, and getting a Dragoon Spear or a Defense Sword, that would go and really help Kane early on and accelerate a lot of these early spots, where if you have to say, fight CPU, you're not just stuck swinging in with a Dwarf Axe.
I would actually think it'd be pretty funny if we did see an Avenger in that free Feymarch chest, and then someone leave it on for this fight, and so they have to do the same thing, hope against hope. Please, Kane, please hit the correct target.
That's definitely... It would be a dream to see it, because Kane might be able to one-shot the CPU, or he might go and get everyone killed. It would be a fun thing for all of us to see. keddril, please give it to us.
And I missed a moment. keddril was busy throwing a coffin at a solitary egg to go ahead and get a whole heap and bunch of levels on his Kane and Porum, and I did not spy that item that Dusty got from Fabul, did you?
I also missed it, just distracted by that lovely egg scrambling.
Oh, excellent. It was the Gungnir. So we found Odin's Spear, which I thought Odin was the king of Baron. White is the king of Fabul Habit. Great weapon, especially in this early game. It's not quite, one of... It's basically his fourth best after you go through the Holy Lance, the Dragoon Lance, the Defense Sword, and we're not even going to talk about axes. But still, great weapon. You can't be too upset about that.
Yeah, that definitely makes the overworld a lot easier to go and just carve through. Though he might be heavily inclined to go and just hit underground quickly. He might be able to go and do more underground checks if he goes and gets some sirens and levels up. Not really spend some time going to that Baron boss spot, but he might want to go there anyways because he does know there is a Demus there for 2 key item checks.
Oh yeah. Incidentally, by the way, Dobby finding a great shop in Tamra, both cabins and hourglass ones.
Oh, now that's value. You really want to go and see that type of stuff because hourglasses 1, 2, and 3s might last longer, but you usually don't want fights to last long enough where that matters. Also, I believe in Feymarch, keddril peeked the boss and saw a Bahamut and a Blue Robe, who is either the Gauntlet or Water Hag.
If it's Water Hag, depending on how much of that samurai armor keddril picked up, it might be doable with Kane at this point. Still be a little risky that Water Hag will hit like a truck, but it's not completely out of the question. Of course, it could be Gauntlet, and then you just have to sit through 16 enemies worth of misery.
Yeah, it's not too long of a check to go and see who it is, but I imagine you'd rather just see who it is when you can go and just take care of Water Hag if they're there and say goodbye to the Gauntlet if it's really them.
Yeah. But that Bahamut fight, as soon as someone finds Starvels, which I admit I've not been following every single shop check, but Starvels are guaranteed overworld, and they make that Bahamut fight a free.
Yeah, that's definitely something where if you go down there when you have your Starvels and it's Bahamut, hop a couple, let him go and blow himself up, and you have yourself a good chunk of free experience and a free key item, pretty much.
Yeah. Also, if I'm paid attention to all three, I think we've seen 3 Cacklaws already across all 4 of our racers. Would love to see a Yang at this point. Most of his damage may come from levels, but that Cacklaw accuracy and stat boosts, very nice. Alternately, huge chunk of change if you're willing to part with them.
I can see people being willing to part with them to go and get some of those high value items like those Starvels. Dobby going and checking to see who the Blue Robe is, and we're going to find out if it's a Gauntlet or if it's Water Hag. And it is Water Hag.
Very good knowledge. Any racer here who doesn't bother to peek that fight may be thinking, okay, let me wait till I have an extra supply of hourglasses. Let me see if I can get a Black Mage set up to instantly do a Quake at the start of each fight. Dobby knows? Oh, no. Much simpler than that.
Oh, yeah, and if he finds a Cursed Ring and just gets in there a little bit later, or has 1 or 2 more party members, he can just throw out those hits, throw bodies at it until you get that 3rd one. He can go and get 2 free checks very quickly.
Yeah. Keddril here, looping back around to that CPU fight that Dusty dealt with earlier, having a much easier time of it with his leveled Kane. That 1 Siren, 1 Coffin is going to have done a world of good for cleaning up this overworld.
Yeah, there's not much that can go and survive against a level 20 Kane with a decent weapon. And this is going to, that Gungnir Spear is going to go and make him a little bit easier, maybe make him consider taking on some more underground spots pretty quickly. While other players are going and continuing to check eggs, and this is the free Feymarch item, which is the Earth Crystal that everyone has had access to, while keddril is now going up to check the Sheila 1 item from Yang and Sylph.
Yep. Dobby here, not getting the egg kill quite as quick as keddril did, not having a coffin, but an hourglass works just as well in a pinch. It won't move. Crystal Ring from Sheila. It's not a key item, but it is one of the best magic resistance items in the game. Provides a heap of status resistances and also a cool +5 agility. I don't hate it.
Yeah, that 5 agility can go and be pretty important, and it's one of the few items in the games that will protect against paralysis, which could be very important against fights like Baigan or Golbez even.
Ooh, and I like the big play by Peasants. Already having Starvale sees this Bahamut. Let's go ahead and knock this out while we're down here, shall we? The big worry, though, will be the possibility of the Starvales wearing off too quickly. Because, let's see, roughly 10,000 to reflect, 35,000 HP. You're gonna have to reflect 4 times or do 3 plus a whole bunch of jumps.
Yeah, though he was doing 5,000 damage with his first jump, so maybe he's going to go and get a bit more out of that.
Dusty, meanwhile, going for the same technique, but Dusty hasn't grinded his cane up yet, so he's not going to have the little bit of bonus damage that Peasants is getting out of this, out of his Dragoon.
No, he's definitely going to need to be very careful about those Starvale durations and check, make sure that they don't fall off. Otherwise, he's going to lose a bit of time to this.
Yep. And Peasants has gotten 3 reflects off, and I believe around 3,000 jumping damage. So either, I believe now, 1 more jump or 1 more reflect will do the trick.
And his Starvale wore off on his Porum, so he had to go and get that out. And Kane does not get his jump off in time to go and land it, but Porum's reflect did go and finish it off.
Hey, that's fine. The amount of XP Kane's missing out on there, you make up for it in less than an egg. You get like half an omelet. But we're in Ring City today. We got a Protect Ring and a Crystal Ring. Protect Ring has, I believe, the same Magic Evade and Magic Defense, but you don't get the stat bonus, but you do get the base elemental resistances, Fire, Ice, Lightning. So, another good pickup, and for not too much trouble.
No, that was definitely, it's not something I can sit there and say, oh, I hate this, this is terrible. It's, Porum might go and need that if she's going to go and be taken to Zeromus, as she is not very sturdy on her own.
Yep. Dusty pulls it off, but reverses the characters who actually get the XP here. His cane gets the bulk of it, which is pretty nice.
Yeah, in these situations, I would prefer to have my experience go to Kane than Porum. Porum's, sure, 3 more levels. In every level he's going to go and do more and more damage, which will make your fights a little that much faster.
And Dobby here, well, it's soon to be followed by keddril, going to pick up this Rosa and the Baron Inn. Mr. Dragon doesn't last long, but Mom Bomb afterwards. It's a good thing they have these levels. Mom Bomb at this spot can be really rude. She's not fast, but she's going to punch really hard, as will all her little babies after she explodes.
Yeah, that extra 10,000 HP is a bit annoying in one of these early spots. Not going to be completely unmanageable, but it will go and just eat some time and require to wait for her to blow her lid.
Outside chance, this Zerker Axe Cane might eat through it in time. It is, again, a very slow spot, but no dice. There comes the explosion.
He must have just been, like, 1,000 or 2,000 off, I think. That is not... He was just tearing through him pretty hard, I feel.
So some high five action. Peasants right here with keddril and dobbytwostep. Dusty here cleverly taking advantage of that Protect Ring he just won. Although Peasants won it as well, may not have had that instant realization that, wait a minute, this is what I need to deal with Water Hag. So Dusty's going to clean up this Water Hag, lickety-split, and we'll never have to revisit Fey March unless there was something he really wanted to buy in that shop.
Yeah, this is definitely a very efficient play from Dusty. He knows he'll never have to come back here, never make this walk, never need to heal from damage styles. And it's the pass. That is a good pickup. If all the parts of the crystal on Earth, that's go mode for him.
That's a really great find. You have to kind of expect that everyone's going to pick it up, though. Everyone knows that there's a free boss and then either Gauntlet or Water Hag there. But of course, not having a double dip Fey March is a huge boon. Just goes to show you, like, you know, you beat this first free boss and you think, oh, it's not a key item. This is why Dusty's one of the greats. He gets that, he's like, wait a minute, that just fixes my other issue here, and knocks it out. Very well done.
Oh yeah, Dusty has shown he didn't win the World Series of Free Enterprise for nothing. He came into 6 of the 7 events and placed well in almost all of them. So actually, he placed well in all of them, period. He's doing very good. And Demas giving us the tower key. That might go and drive people to that tower play, though it might be a little early for some of that.
Yeah, we only got I say only, we get a defense sword from Baron N, which is pretty great. It is actually, by sheer damage, Kane's second best weapon. So great pickup for this team, bumping it up even stronger than that Gungnir. And we get Rosa, who won't take long to get online at all if we pop a few sirens. So I'm liking how this team's shaping up. We got good gear, we got good white mages, and some of our racers haven't entered.
Yeah, with this team, I don't see, like, after that Baron in, there's not really anything wrong with this team to go to Zeromus. Sure, it's just two characters, but Rosa and Kane, they'll go and take care of it.
I think I've done several Cataseeds in that van.
The In Your Dreams team, right?
I mean, it's no Crystal Sword Cecil, but you know.
But no one can go and measure up to someone who's got a complete and utter broken weapon that gives twice as much attack power as the next character's best weapon.
Still a little salty I never found that as a kid. Every other secret path on the US carts was marked one way or another, but no, not the one that takes you to the Crystal Sword. Those jerks.
The only reason why I knew it existed is because we got a cart from a friend of my father's, and they had that crystal sword, and I spent a long time as a child wondering, how do I get this thing? I've never found this. Where is it from? Did they cheat?
You know, the funny thing is that if they had left the secret passages out, I would have probably found it. Because I would have seen chess in the early game. I'd have been like, okay, I can go this path, I can go this path. It would have trained me for that final one, instead of, you know, pulling the carpet out from under my 10-year-old self. Such cruelty.
Maybe they felt they made the game too easy and wanted to go and give us some bit of, you know, challenge. And speaking of challenges, Peasants is going straight up tower after getting that tower key.
So I'm really curious here. Is Peasants feeling confident enough to actually take down the upper boss, or is this a tower key half special? And that spot only has like 600 XP or so. I mean, pardon me, HP. So it can probably be done fairly quickly. But that Baigen spot can be a lot ruder for sure.
Yeah, that spot has a lot of HP. It's not super high for other reasons, but that HP is a lot to chew through, and his team's not that high level. Well, Kane has almost 1,000 HP. That could be something.
Yeah, now this part, the control room, oh yeah, easy peasy, one shot, done here, moving on. Oh, did I say Baigen? I meant Luge. Sorry, Woo Bear. You know who I meant.
I just wanted to go and see how long you would go before you caught that.
Oh, I've played so many seeds today. I'm going to get tongue-tied with at least a couple of locations here.
Yeah, just gonna go and start remembering all the bosses he fought in these locations and start naming them that. I'll wait for the Odin spot to go and be on the moon.
I think I just went cross-eyed trying to even contemplate it. Although, Peasants at least taking a peek, seeing if maybe it's a freebie.
Maybe he's feeling that Defense Sword and Rose is going to do enough work that he can go and just sneak this through without going and getting additional levels, or that the levels he has are enough.
I mean, Rose is good, but level 14 is still level 14. Dusty over here, meanwhile, checking Dwarf Castle. That is going to be an Elements behind here. Oh, yeah, don't think you're doing that one.
That's Peasants. There's bold, and then there's just suicidal, and he is bold.
Okay, go for it. More power to you. The bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
Maybe he's desperate for turtle soup. Dusty going and getting ready to take care of the dancing elements. Ooh, Porum getting completely destroyed by that first hit.
Yeah, that was bodied. Holy crap. Now, I'm pretty sure he at this point has both a Protect Ring and a Crystal Ring on Kane and Rosa. So, yeah, you can see the Protect Ring there resisting the fire damage to Kane.
He might need it because the next spell that comes out is Fire 3, and if he doesn't roll it, oh, he goes and finishes it off. So that at least goes and saves him a bit of time and gets him through this fight with 3 characters alive.
Yeah, and not just that, but picking Porum up in time to let her get the XP on top of it, very, very nice.
And we see peasants trying to go and break the waves with a lit bolt and not unfortunately succeeding. His team gets mostly destroyed by that, and the only person remaining is a berserk Kane. This is getting a little scary. Well, okay, it was scary to start with, but this is getting extra scary for peasants right now. And meanwhile, we see...
Yeah, I mean... Go ahead.
I was just to say, we see Milan and friends in Dwarf Castle for dustygri, so he's making progress, and he got an edge for that. Wow.
Ooh, very nice. You know, I think peasants actually, if he were to get this one more go and get that lightning bolt off in time, I think he might be able to do this. The punches for the Kenatsu aren't doing really any appreciable damage to his cane, and if you can just break down one wave with how slow the spot is, maybe you reduce the HP overall. I don't know. It's probably a little too chancy, but I like to see these bold plays.
Yeah, it might have been possible, but it might have been something he decided, I will rather just come back later and destroy this with a better setup party and not go and spend time doing this very risky and edge play.
And a quick check with Motas, I know you're listening in and are in chat. Dusty doesn't have that tower key lit up. Did he not go visit Rydia's mom after clearing Baron in? It would definitely explain why he's over here instead of running up tower. Okay, he got it. All right. And a Masamune from the tower key. This edge is about to be a very, very strong ally.
Not to mention Dwarf giving me a spoon, which will go and be pretty useful.
That does so much work for this Kenatsu fight. Just throw that one, Zerk up, and you may have gotten enough damage in right out the gate to not really have to even worry about dispelling the waves.
Yeah, if you're just going and chewing through that HP, the wave is based on Kanaizo's current health. I think it's 4% of his current health. If you've gone and taken out several thousand of that, those waves are going to go and just be gentle splash.
Okay, and chat has confirmed that Dusty did pick it up, which if I've done it once, I've done it 1,000 times. You go, you fight Mist Dragon, but then whatever's after Mist Dragon is really exciting, you know, like Rosa. And then you completely forget, oh yeah, I should probably pick that item up.
Are you implying a defense sword is not exciting?
Compared to Rosa, I'll have to think about it.
You and your prejudices.
Ooh, and a full moon too. So on the way out of this tower, Dusty is going to have an edge with back row glitch via the full moon, which is already a decent bump to his damage. And that Masamune. Dusty is going to cleave through so many bosses after this.
Yeah, I think Porum's only going to go and get be kept around just so she can cast Berserk more and when we find Wine, she might go and get the boot. Meanwhile, we see Dobby going and clearing out the free bosses in Baymarch, defeating the Bahamut, getting his Protect Ring. We'll see if he goes and gets the pass from that Water Hag. Keddril is going and giving his taking shots at Kanaizo himself, and is getting waved, but he's got Cure 3 on Porum and enough health on her to survive, so he's got some levels to get through that.
Yeah. And Dusty here, taking a reset and arranging his inventory to take a look at just what tools he has at his disposal. I'm wondering how he intends to start this fight. He didn't rearrange his party, so I wonder what exactly he was checking for there. Oh, now he's doing the rearranging. Okay. Ooh, that's real clever.
Yeah, that Thunderclaw is going to go and do quadruple damage against Kanaizo in his waveform, and if he doesn't plan on breaking him out because, say, Edge is doing 2,000 to 3,000 damage a swing and hitting multiple times before he waves, that might go and turn those waves into gentle splashes of water very quickly.
Oh yeah. And doing a spoon opener as well. I love it. I love it. Going to Dwarf Castle first is going to do Dusty so much good here. Already knocked off 7,000 HP on the turtle.
Dusty's going to have some soup tonight, though he just wasted his spoon going and cooking it rather than eating it, it seems.
Dwight asking in chat, what is meant by back row glitched? So there's a glitch in the vanilla game where once a character equips gear that sets the back row bit on them, allowing them to do full damage from the back row, there's no mechanism for removing it. It stays. So as soon as you put a bow and an arrow on someone correctly, if you put a boomerang or a full moon in Edge's right hand, dwarf axes, etc., have a field day, that character will do full damage from the back row, and they get a little more, they get the benefits of being there, increased physical defense, things of that nature.
And they'll still do full damage to enemies in the back row, such as if you have to deal with a CPU, that can get kind of annoying, but going and having a back row glitch will go and save you a fair amount of time. And that wave taking out Edge before he can go and start pulling out even more damage. But I think Kane is going to be able to go and survive this, jumping over waves and throwing out some fair amount of damage.
The one concern here, by the way, another thing Dusty did, he threw that Gungnir spear as well. He figured that the defense sword good enough for this Kane. If I find another one, I'll deal with it. But the real trick here is going to be, can he finish the fight off? Once Kanatsu goes in the shell, he will periodically restore 10% of his HP, which at this spot is, it's beefy. You didn't know turtle soup could be quite so beefy, but Dusty has to be real tricky here in how he actually finishes the fight off.
Yeah, he could go into a pretty awkward situation where he's not able to pull enough damage to go and kill Kanaizo, and Kanaizo just keeps healing himself just enough to make it seem like it's worthwhile to keep trying. But meanwhile, we see peasants going up tower, the Tower of Zot, excuse me, not the one, Tower of Babel, where Kanaizo is, the Tower of Zot, where he might be able to find 2 characters just because of that Earth Crystal in Feymarch.
And Dusty, happening at the reset, had such a great setup there at the start, but it's so tricky to finish off Kanatsu if you don't have, a big bada boom at the very end. If you get down to 1 character and Kanatsu's alternating healing thousands of HP and throwing waves for even just a few hundred, yeah, it's a little hairy. So, but it's round 2. Let's see how Dusty handles it.
Oh yeah, and meanwhile, we see peasants facing off Leviathan in Tower of Zot. Lots of enemies throwing water and waves in these towers today.
Absolutely. Another great place to capitalize on a Thunderclaw if Peasants has one kicking around as well.
Oh yeah, and speaking of capitalizing, keddril managed to go and get through that Kanaizo fight and was rewarded with the Luca key, it seems.
Very well done by keddril. Still Cave, mixed bag. You hate going down there because it takes so long, and there's a decent chance that the boss is one that's just going to ruin your day. But you at least get to see the key item first. So if it's a Drain Spear, you can just say goodbye now. If it's Darkness Crystal, well, then we're in for a trip tonight.
Yeah, and keddril does have a fair number of levels. I don't think it's terribly terribly outside of his ability to go and take down that whoever's there, unless it's Golbez, and then it's good luck, have fun, please don't go and call me.
And by the way, there is another Kane up here. So Dusty may have actually gotten a little bonus luck here. He opted this time to put Edge in the middle for speed's sake and get him zerked up to be dishing out damage that way. And I think that means he kept the Gungnir Spear, which you get up here and you find your second Kane, you'll be glad to have those weapons to go around.
Yeah, that's very good. This is looking like a very solid Berserker team, and keeping that Gungnir will go and give Kane a weapon to. That's certainly not a weapon I would feel bad about taking to Zeromus.
Oh yeah, the prospect of having a Gungnir Kane, a Defender Kane, and a Full Moon Masamune Edge with White Mage support in the back row. Yeah, I'll take that team. I will take that team all over this planet.
Yeah, and speaking of teams to take all over the place, Peasants is just having his team go and take out this little entourage of Kaipo guards who are sitting on the top of Tower of Zot.
Another free fight here, which, you know, this isn't the hardest boss spot. I'm trying to think of what do we have left for when we go to the moon. I think that we've had quite a few freebies, so moon could be pretty nasty tonight.
Yeah, I think the main free bosses we have left are, unless I'm mistaken, King, Queen, Evelyn, and Baron Guards.
And Walme in chat pointing out to me that Dusty did throw the spear this time as well. So, gonna have to find another weapon if he wants to take that bonus cane.
Well, that'll involve him going there, and he might go and decide, I would rather clear Luca right now because I've cleared most of the other spots in the underground. Let's see if I can finish this off.
Yeah, and his team's going to be fine anyway. I mean, again, if he's going to have that Full Moon Masamune Edge. It's going to be real nice. But we have the Darkness Crystal through that Tower of Zot. So Peasants has a huge decision to make here. Clean up the rest of the blue planet, which admittedly doesn't have too many spots left. I believe the only one we've not seen the Twin Harp check nor the Sealed Cave check. Everything else is already done for. So it looks like Peasants is going to the moon.
And Peasants did reset out of Kanaizo, so he's probably thinking, I don't want to go and do this. I want to go and take this Earth Crystal and see if I can get value out of the moon as soon as I can.
And Akir calling me out, ordeals. You know, when you don't have a Tella, you don't have a Fu, you don't have a Cecil, it's so easy to overlook the whole email. Thank you for pointing that out. So now I'm really hoping there's something important there at this state.
Maybe we'll find a Cecil on the moon and come right back. Meanwhile, Dobby is going, I believe he's going up tower rather than heading this Mylon Z on the way down, unless I missed his Kanaizo.
Yeah, I think he's just doing it on the way up. If you're playing on V0 rather than V1, oftentimes you'll do the upper spot first, just because if that's your crystal, why are you wasting time here? With V1, of course, if you still need both parts of your crystal, and in Dobby's case, maybe Lunar access with the Darkness Crystal, checking it on the way up makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, though he does have that pass, he's in a similar position to Dusty where he only needs 2 more items. But it's still 2 items and you can get both of them from tower, so no reason to skip this spot, I feel. And the extra experience might go and give you that much.
And is Dusty about to be the People's Champion? Oh, well, he's going to shop a little bit first, it seems. But having both the Twin Harp and the Earth Crystal, I'm keeping my fingers crossed that he goes north rather than west here.
It would go and be a favor for us all, to be honest. But we do go and see Sid is on the moon as the free character up there. Not terribly exciting. Maybe some people will go and keep him or take him when they come up to the moon to replace Porum as an anchor.
Well, we did see another Sid in Zot, so at this point, I think it's too many engineers.
Too many engineers on the airship. And we do see that Dusty is being the People's Champion is going to get us music. The first one going for music today.
Meanwhile, Dobby is up here handling this Not-So fight, also flinging all kinds of stuff at it. I'm pretty sure based on the level of the damage, that was a spoon flung right out the gate. I think Dobby has a few more levels than some of his competitors had at this fight. So let's see how this first wave comes out and if... Okay, yeah. Dobby looks A-okay here.
Yeah, I think...
Yeah. Double Zerk. Tonight, Dobby dines on turtle soup.
But he already threw away his spoon.
You just pick up the entire bowl and just slurp it. It's turtle ramen. That's a thing, right?
If it isn't, I'm sure someone can go and invent it for us. And Peasants is going and grinding gold dragons on the moon, trying to go and just get some extra experience that way.
Yeah, one of the most lucrative fights in the game. If you get your life glitch off on them, which we'll get into that in a minute, 90,000 a fight, which is just super lucrative. Do you want to talk about that life glitch or Vitality Zero glitch a little bit? Oh, actually, sorry. There's something more important happening. I apologize.
We can always talk later, but now we listen for music.
I believe that's some Brinstar.
I do believe you're correct. But to get back to our little Vitality Zero glitch, enemies in this game do not have a Vitality stat, but they can still be affected by the life spell. Without a Vitality stat, their Vitality is 0, and Vitality determines how many hit points you come back with. And when that amount is 0, you die instantly. So you go, you kill, you revive, they die, and you get double the rewards. It's also something that can happen if you have a curse string on a person with exactly 15 Vitality, as they will go down to 5 instead, or down to 0 Vitality instead of 1.
And you're wondering, why are my life potions missing? What?
I know the life spell can mitch, I've seen it at one time, but how can I go and miss with a life potion?
The curse string is a many splendored thing.
It truly is our Pandora's box.
So Dusty has cleaned up this Pain Man. And the magnetic cavern yields... Oh, baby! Peasant's gonna regret having foregone music today. Having done that Earth Crystal check, you have to imagine it'll be a while till he heads back to Cave Magnus, and that could be a bad situation tonight.
Yeah, it looks like being the People's Champion paid off, and Dusty is in a very good position. If one part's on the moon and one part's at Twin Harp, this is going to be very strong for him, because I expect Dusty's going to go straight up Earth right now.
Oh yeah, makes perfect sense. And if he doesn't go to the moon, he only has one spot to check left on the blue planet anyway, and that's Sealed Cave. So even if Dusty's been doing a lot in his league races of full clearing Earth before going moon, especially when he has the pass and there's a chance he can avoid all those cutscenes. So he's already mostly full cleared Earth. I don't see why he would deviate from that at this point. Of course, Dobby's going to give us the advanced scoop on the Sealed Cave, and we'll know if that's actually the solution to this seed or not.
Yeah, that's going to be some pretty big knowledge. If this is adamant, Peasants is going to be in a bad spot. He is just going to be chasing rabbit holes, as anything he gets from the moon will not be progression either.
Yeah, and let's see. We still have a hook and rat tail combo could lead us somewhere. Pan's an option. Burying Key leads to 2 checks. And that's about it. The Earth yielded a fairly robust bounty today. That one won't do it, though. Just a package in the Sealed Cave.
And we've already found Demas, so no hoping for, this will go and be the 1 in 1,000 play of do package, get Demas, get the last part of my crystal. We've already seen them today. They gave us a tower key.
So it is some good news for Peasants. Just the fact that at least part of the crystal is going to be on the moon. I am a little worried though, because he didn't knock out that water hag fight back in the Fey March. So it could be a situation where you finish the moon, you're like, okay, I have to go back to something on Earth. If you do go to Twin Harp, well, you're setting yourself up to fly back to the moon and lose, another 4 minutes to cutscenes and walking. And would you believe that I forgot Ordeals again?
Gee, I'm starting to wonder if you have something against this place. And, well, We've got one less reason to not want to do ordeals. There's an Excalibur in the ribbon spot. If we find a Cecil somewhere, well, Peasants might not go for him anyways because he's already got a number of levels on his team, but Cecil is a good character with that Excalibur.
I'm really wondering if anyone is going. I would not fault the entire field for skipping ordeals. I mean, I clearly can't remember it's a thing.
It's almost as if a spot that has 3 bosses, a number of cutscenes, it can't let you exit out, and requires a bit of a walk up to, is somewhat undesirable to people who go and do this.
And Peasants took down that Lunar Dragon's location pretty handily, but now there's an evil wall at play. Of course, until it gets all the way across, all it does is take a move and a swing, a move and a swing. So illusions negate 2 of them, but it might actually be fast enough to get the advantage here. You would have to know who Peasants left that protect ring on, would you?
That I do not know at the moment, unfortunately.
Porum is down. Oh, more music, by the way. Sorry, chat.
Meanwhile, keddril is going and finishing up Fey March and getting his pass, so Peasants is the only one without a pass, and so far, one of the 2 runners who have skipped Twin Harps thus far, and not going to find their Legend Sword very soon.
Yes, a great situation for Dobby to be in here.
Yeah, I expect Dobby is going to make a similar play to dustygri where he goes. Since he's already checked Luca, these are the last 2 checks on Earth for him as well, I think. So he'll be going, get his legend and get up to the moon and start working on finding that adamant soon enough.
So I'm hearing you say that adamant should definitely be at ordeals this season, right? Right?
Oh yeah, no, it should most certainly be there because it's clearly the place that everyone's going to forget, like we do.
Hey, sometimes you forget other places as well. Also, that wall is making its way pretty quickly across the field here.
He's getting pretty close to start giving hugs. Yeah, I agree.
At least it can only give 1 hug at a time, and at that point it won't do normal attacks. So if you can get enough turns in there, if it's slowed down, you can win through attrition, more or less. So
it's just like that song. I get knocked down, I get up again, you can't keep me down. But we don't get to that phase. Evil wall is down.
Oh, Mortal Imago. Too soon, too soon. And there is our last big chain item. I mean, Pan, I guess, is still a chain item, even though you don't have to fight anything past that point. But Bearing Key is the last big rabbit hole available to our racers tonight.
Indeed. So there's that's cutting down on different places for cutting down items that can hide on ordeals. So we could be getting closer to just ordeals having nothing, or we could be getting closer to ordeals having our adamant, and we will all be punished greatly for forgetting it.
At this point, we still have not seen the hook, the sand ruby, the adamant, of course, the pan, or the rat tail. So still a few things out there, but I don't think this will truly be a thing of beauty if it is at ordeals, because I can't, nobody's going there. Nobody.
No one is up for mountain climbing today, and if it is there, everyone's going to be panicking. Oh God, it was here the entire time, completely unblocked.
I would like to point out, though, how quickly these racers are making it through this seed. Like, pretty much the entire blue planet has been cleared, and we're only just shy of the 49-minute mark. So no matter who wins, we're going to see some really great finish times tonight.
Yeah, this seed is not going and impeding our runners very much. Sure, it's not a hook seed, but you still had to deal with things like Kanizo at the top of tower. There's a fair amount of good, hardy bosses around that are not slowing down our runners.
Sorry, I lost my composure there for for a moment and had to push to mute. Anyway, thank you for that, girl named Captain. Yeah, Boo Bear pointing out, Antland here, not the gentlest fight. You typically would rather have some real powerful spells to deal with it. If you just zerk up your team here, you're going to just be eating counter, 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 counter. And although they won't do too much, they can pile on along with the strong base melee attacks as well.
Yeah, Antline is not a boss I like to go and see on the moon. He doesn't like going and playing nice and give gentle touches. He likes going and pounding you into the pavement. Meanwhile, Dusty went up to the moon, checked the shop, checked the character, and decided, I'm good seeing this for now. Let's go and finish clearing the earth.
Interesting, interesting. I'm surprised that he would take the time to actually spawn the well and go up there and not stick around. So this is a very quick check. He can just reset. If he left a save on the moon, he can go back there instantly after this one. I'll be really, really curious to see if he goes and does ordeals after this.
Yeah, that's maybe he just forgot. Oh right, I have Luca key. I should check that before I start committing to clearing this moon for the next 10, 15, 20 minutes. Meanwhile, we'll see dobbytwostep getting into the officer-soldier fight. The Kaipo guards at the top of Zot and Keddril almost into the same position.
Yeah, pretty much high-fiving right there. But Keddril did not go do music. So making that same skip as Peasant could end up costing him dearly.
Yeah, that is... Today there's a price to pay for not pleasing the people.
I mean, in all fairness, that's the kind of play I often make as well, so I'm very glad I'm commentating this seed and not actually playing this seed. I would be in trouble. So I feel their pain.
I imagine we're going to see how much trouble we're in if we keep forgetting our deals, and that's where the adamant is. Dusty not satisfied with that package and just resetting out.
Well, and then resetting it. So, hands up in chat. How many of you do your save outside Silt Cave, do your save inside Silt Cave, see the item stinks, reset your game, and then load the save at the save point inside Silt Cave? Because I do. I do it all the time.
I would plead the fifth, but I don't think I can hide my guilt on that matter either.
And when you have to go for the second reset, you're just like, ugh. I just made both those save points within the last, 60 seconds. What is wrong with me?
Yeah. But we find Peasants got through Antlion at Ogopogo and is just rewarded with a Stardust Rod. Not remotely useful for a team that has no black mages.
An excellent point. No excitement there at all. Oh, we can't even do my favorite warp right here. Long walk back around the room.
He's got to be feeling all sorts of wonderful emotions after getting nothing for that Antlion, who is a brutal slog, but maybe he expects all the other runners are going to go through the similar path through the moon.
Yeah. And Cossack pointing out in chat, saving outside Sylph Cave, I will, first of all, run validated. Good job, Dusty. I still save outside Sylph Cave. I swear is a holdover from playing an excessive amount of 2v2, especially back leading up to the World Series and around the time of the Twin Invitational last year. I will save out there because I'm used to running in there and fighting 7 trap chests. My thumbs don't know any better. I'm trying to retrain. It happened.
And here I thought you just wanted to go and come straight back to the underground if Sheila doesn't give you anything nice.
I mean, that's how I justify it to myself. But if I have a pan, come on. I know.
You know you're going to go and get Crystal, Adamant, and Legend Sword from there, right?
Yeah, exactly. Peasants is cleaning up this moon very quickly, though. 54-minute mark, and already cleared the 3 bottom bosses. Now, the Nope Rope. Ooh, this is a pretty rough boss, no matter where you deal with it.
Yeah, and this spot hurts. He's going to be going through real mean punches, like 1700 straight to Kane in the front row. This is an ugly fight.
It knew which one was cast. It's like someone is casting Cure 3. Someone is casting Cure 3.
I spy with my little eye someone I need to kill.
Yeah, this is so rude because it's also relatively quick without a really good agility anchor to let your team catch up to it in speed. So you kind of have to decide, do I blink for the sake of avoiding the really nasty melee attacks like that one, or do I cure up to deal with the percentage-based attacks? Eek.
Yeah, Ogopogo is, he just likes chewing through health. He eats it for breakfast, he eats it for lunch, and then he goes and says, I want to go and have a double course for dinner.
And Dusty not doing the ordeals play. I will let me go finish off Earth, except not you. Leaving that poor mountain hanging.
I mean, it's such an ordeal. Looks like Peasants is stabilizing slightly after Ogopogo, or he's going to go and lose Porum now, and it's down to Edge and Rosa.
Well, he does have a blink up on Edge. So that's good. And Edge is Zerked, dishing out the damage here. This spot doesn't have as high of HP as some places, but not a lot of targets and a whole lot of nope.
Yeah, and there's Rosa going down. Yeah, there's the reset. That is a very mean fight. I don't know if he wants to try and get some more experience or if he wants to go and try some. Nope, he's just, I'm leaving. I'm out. I'm going somewhere else. This is going to go very well for me.
Sometimes you nope the rope, and sometimes the rope nopes you.
Going back in, so probably checking Paladin, hoping for something a bit more merciful. If that's blocking Adamant, this is going to be very unpleasant for Peasants.
Oh yeah, to have passed over the Twin Harp check, which has the Legend Sword, and then if this does have the Adamant, to have skipped it as well and have to go all the way back down for it. 2 items that, of all the spots in the game to put your bets on, these are possibly not the 2 to do it tonight. We know you got to bet on music tonight. But that Ogopogo, we'll have to see.
Yeah, you're gonna want a higher level team to go for that, and an anchor would definitely not go awry with this. And we find Valvalis in the Paladin spot. We've got Canes, we can go and destroy the spin, or we can just power through it with attacks, it looks like.
Yeah, if you have the attack power and number of hits and accuracy to actually hit her through the spin, you actually deal with fewer physical attacks. She'll alternate her turns, she'll do a punch, she'll do a combo weak, puts you in single digit HP, and a ray, which does the first level of petrification, and then next turn she punches again. Whereas if you actually break the spin, she punches you coming out of the spin as a counterattack, like so. Only 1 damage to Kane though, shrugging that off like a champ. Good use of that Protect Ring. And then she does another big punch before she starts spinning again. So it's really, pick your poison. You want to do less physical damage, but also receive less direct hits? Or do you want to slow your damage, but also have a safer fight?
Yeah, it looks like the difference between damage with Edge's attacks are 800 when she's spinning and 2300 when she's not. So I can see people wanting, 1300 there. It's not too bad. But these punches are going to hurt.
Yeah. Kane did not shrug that off as only 1 HP that time. Ooh. Yeah, I've kind of become a convert to the let Valvalis spin school of thought lately. Especially if I have either illusions or a few characters who can cast blink. No, I'm not stopping your spin. Have at it. We're good. We'll fight in the air.
We might miss you, but you'll miss us more.
Dobby making the play for value has done a decent bit of grinding here, powered his team up. Dusty going to the more traditional route of going down to floor, looks to be headed towards floor 7 of the Lunar subterranean. Oh no, we know who this is. We know who this is.
Dobby knows who it is too. Dobby has the pass. He knows who the first blue robe was, and he is going to subject himself to the second blue robe of Gauntlet.
That is another bold move. So much HP to chew through here. But you know, if you don't expect any of your opponents to want to invest this time, I mean, it's going to be the payoff for you, especially because Dobby does already have half that crystal.
And he's seen there are no black mages this seed. No one's going to get through this very easily. Spend some time now or sometime later. It's not going to be too much of a difference. I can see this being an alright play.
Yeah, and Valvolis had the rat tail, but there's one problem. This is not a hook seed. Oh my gosh, how great would that be? Everyone's like, oh hey, finally, it's not a hook seed. Thank you, Smape, it's not a hook seed. And then meanwhile, everyone's like, where is the hook? I need a hook. I need a hook stat. I gotta turn this tail in.
And of course, we all know where the hook will be at that point. Ordeals.
Oh my goodness. Oh, that'd be beautiful. Because you know people are going to chase that Baron key first. Yeah, nobody's going to do Ordeals at this point.
Ordeals really needs to go and work on its tourism and advertisement and general atmosphere.
Peasants, nope. You're not making me fight 16 jerks at once. I'm out of here. So Peasants leaving K Bahamut with Gauntlet and Ogopogo at Wyvern hanging. I kind of like this play. You're just over the hour mark. You know you left some places on Earth. You got that Baron key that opens up a bit, but you don't have either half of the crystal. So definitely a little bit of panic has to start to set in here.
And he doesn't have a pass either. That's I can see him not feeling good about a lot of things. He knows he's gonna have to walk back to the moon if he doesn't find a pass somewhere, and he doesn't know it's really close and pretty free. He is going Ordeals. He's deciding I want to gamble on something no one has clearly done, even though they have access to it.
This is the play I can get behind here. I like this. Dobby has done a fantastic job cleaning up this gauntlet, by the way. Already down to the penultimate fight. Just one more captain and soldiers after this one.
And meanwhile, keddril is going and fighting through Valvalis. I believe he opted to go through Lunar Subterranean top down and is going to go and get through that. And we find a free fight of King Queen Evelyn in the first spot of Ordeals. It's gotta feel good knowing that the spot that you skipped all game has a free fight in the first spot.
Scratch, the Legend Sword was behind the Twin Harp over in Cave Magnus. Alright, value in Cave Bahamut! I started saying that as a question, and then it quickly became an exclamation. Dobby two-step is in go mode. First one of our 4 racers to find both halves of the crystal, and doing it in a place that I can't see a lot of people dealing with. Peasants already noped out of there. Dusty is doing the moon bottoms up. Dobby is in great shape to run away with this race.
Oh yeah, he's got pass. He's got, I believe this will put at 10 kingdoms if he isn't there already.
The crystal will give him number 10.
He is going to be in fine shape. He's got a team that's got equipment. He has got all sorts of great stuff to go through and just power up his team until he feels ready to go. Walk to the pub, hand in his fancy slip of paper, and go straight to this Eldritch Horror from the...
I'm really, really hoping that Dobby's foes are checking the IRC channel, looking at this, getting ready to metagame, because I think they're not going to have any idea that that's where to go. I think everyone who's seen that fight will think, there's no way that you come to the moon and the first thing you do is sit through that gauntlet.
And unfortunately, we find a hook in Ordeals, along with yet another free fight.
So, Peasants here is, it well depends on how fast Dobby gets done. Dobby probably has to do a little bit of grinding here, but Peasants is getting set up to get completely baited by this hook. If that rat tail becomes a pan, we're going to see both pan checks. Then there's that Baron key. So the question is, how much grinding does Dobby do before hitting it? But how deep down the rabbit hole does Peasants go when Dobby hits the dot done? That's what I'm worried about for Peasants right now.
Yeah, Peasants is, if he chooses to go Baron key, he's not going to go and get rewarded with anything, I think. This rat tail's going to be faster, sure, he'll go and get to turn in his pink tail, but he can find a Sandrupian Baron or the pan behind either Baron or rat tail, and that's going to be it.
Now, another funny thing here. So we talked about Peasants' misfortune. Peasants has been killing the seed, but just has gambled on the wrong spots. But now, Dusty and Keddril, I wonder if they see the dot done, if either of them is going to run back to Earth and go to Ordeals. I am licking my chops at the prospect of this. I think that would be the most amazing thing for this seed to pull out here towards the end.
Yeah, Keddril's seeing, oh, I got a rat tail from like the one of the first bosses on the moon. That could definitely be it. And then Keddril hasn't gone and checked Twin Harp either, so he's going to be in a very lost position. Maybe he's going to think, oh, there must be a pan that has it that's going to go and give it to me.
Another thing that's going to make this even well, it may make it a little worse for Dusty, is that he's not done a full out-and-out grind. No one on his team has above 2,000 HP yet. So this wall, not going to be the fastest fight. We don't have a black mage to, take this long that way. If he goes down and does Antlion at Ogopogo, not going to be the fastest fight. Ogopogo a Wyvern. All these moon bosses are just utterly cruel. So if you're stuck on any of them, you're not getting back to that gauntlet in Cave Bahamut yet.
Who'd think that the kindest fight on the moon would be the gauntlet today? That's...
When you put it that way, that's amazing.
What's also amazing is Peasants is going to go to Twin Harp. He is going to give us more music, and he is going to find his Legend Sword, so that will go and give him something to catch back up.
That's really, really good. But I'm just excited to see metagame go bad here. This kind of seed, you kind of want to be a runner who doesn't look at SRL until you are headed to your Zeromus fight.
Yeah, it's going to be very hard to tell where things were, where people would have gotten that bit of a lead on you, because it could be anywhere. There is literally no place that could say, oh yeah, this is clearly the place I should go at this point.
Another thing, I'm not sure if Dobby has that crystal ring, but if so, he can very quickly fix his agility anchoring situation here as well. The Canes and the Edge are a little too fast, the Rosa and the Porm are a little too slow, but that crystal ring makes pretty much either of those white mages just right. Oh
yeah, and didn't we see a crystal ring this seed? I want to say there was one, but I can't go and remember at this point.
I can't say for sure. That Dwarf Axe could also be put on a cane at the start of a fight in the middle slot to help a little bit with the agility anchoring.
Very true. You usually think of using it with Cecil, but Kane can go and use it as well, and it is -5 agility. That's a pretty big help for just fixing your anchoring while you have a high-level team.
And Dobby has parked outside of Troya with that pass in hand. Well, I hope he has the crystal. I think I saw him pick it up. It's not highlighted, but I think we saw him grab it at the Cole Smithy. There's a pretty important question that we have to ask, I dare say.
Indeed. We like to go and we don't go and add Zeromus to the normal boss pool because he's a little too mean and a little too extra everything, but we do like to give him a little bit of something for this randomizer, so we give him a bit of a makeover. So we like to go and ask, as we're approaching the Steromus fight, whose butt are we gonna kick tonight?
Aw, yeah. Nirm asking the second most important question after whose butt we're going to kick tonight. And that's, did you save your game?
I'm sure if he didn't, we're going to be in for a very, very sad second attempt.
While Dobby's activating this fight, I just have to review these Lunar bosses again. We saw Asura at the Lunar Dragon spot. We saw Evil Wallet, Plague, Antline at Ogopogo, Ogopogo at Wyvern, Valvelus at Pale Dim, and the Gauntlet of all things, at Cave Bahamut with value. What a seed, Smape. Everyone's like, oh, it's so easy, and you gave us the rudest moon I think we've seen all league long. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I mean, when the phrase, the Gauntlet is the nicest boss on the moon, and actually isn't sarcasm, God, Smapey, that is a real treasure.
Peasant's like, fine. Okay, you can land most places on the moon now, but rocks are still a problem. All right, Peasant's on his way to the right place, and we have Ultimus, final boss, Final Fantasy Tactics.
At least we didn't have to go all the way down to the bottom of a monastery to find her this time.
And no Ultima Demons with her either.
Yeah, I guess I figured, this would be a bit too easy if we go and included, more than one thing that can cast Ultima on us.
I don't think Dobby's going to have any problem this fight. Has 3 very great equipped Zerkers. Rosa rocking nearly 2,400 HP, and of course having Cure 4. I don't even think the agility is going to come into play here. I think it's just going to be swing, 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 and down goes the Steromus.
Yeah, I think the only casualty of this fight is going to be Porum, and for Porum, we will go and just salute her every time she goes down. And Peasants is rocking one of the Avenger that he got from the Pink Tail on one of his canes, so that's going to go and help him chew through this fight.
I like him coming back here after getting that. That is definitely going to make these 6 battles go a lot better. You may not have a Black Mage, but at least you have your Dragoons just swinging like madmen.
Indeed, and I think he might have forgotten to back row glitch one of his characters, so he has to go and switch his rows every fight, which is a slightly unfortunate thing. Or maybe he's just trying to keep the mages in the correct position.
Oh, yeah. You don't want them to be taking these punches. Not yet.
We might not care about his Porum surviving the Z fight, but we would like her to go and stick around in case we have to take care of some other stuff. And Dusty is still grinding through that antlion fight, which it looks as awful as it was when Peasants did it.
So, Dobby's fight looking good, still pretty much topped out on HP, even throwing a Holy or 2 with his white mages, bouncing them off of a Star Veil. Zerker's still going strong, great hybrid strats here.
Yeah, I figured Porum would just be taking a nap and we'd be watching 2 canes and a Edge just rip apart Zeromus, but Porum is going and giving the best she really can in a Zeromus fight, and that's throwing out whites.
No one gets to be dead weight tonight.
Indeed, Dobby didn't go and have a good anchor.
I feel so bad for no one being able to cast the warp spell after getting back up from the crystal floor. Like, no, we have to walk all the way around. No.
Yeah, this seed, the characters were, unless I'm mistaken, Kane, Porum, Rosa, Edward. Edward was on Hobbs, Rosa in the inn, Edge in Dwarf Castle, Kane again on top of Zot, Sid on top of Zot, and then Sid on the moon. No black mages, no offensive casters, no Cecils to go and point people toward deals. This was a seed of no real AoE damage.
But, at least we did get the weaponry to let the Canes and the Edge do work tonight. You always hate when you're just like slogging through with poison axes and ogre axes. We got some really great spears. We got some really great ninja gear. And we have rocks falling.
Yeah, Dobby is very close to the finish. He is just rocking through, wrecking things. Edge went down, but you've got Kane. What do you need? And he is done. He is finished with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 14 minutes, and 33 seconds. Congratulations to dobbytwostep on his first play.
Beautifully done. And like Niram says in chat, let the metagaming begin. Peasants is going to know what's up very soon. Having already pretty much full cleared moon, not wanting to go, I would not be going back for that Ogopogo at this point. This spot makes a ton of sense, and Peasants is rewarded. That's go mode for Peasants, OMFG.
He's in a great spot. Dusty is going in, trying to clear through this Ogopogo. Probably not, he's not really thinking about where they could be. He's just going to go through the last spots he can, I think.
When your opponent is done sub hour 15 with the kind of bosses that you've seen on the moon, you really have to think that you might have missed something on Earth. I would not be surprised to see a quick Ordeals play by somebody after this. If they're watching the channel, if they're metagaming, I know I would probably do it, and I would suffer dearly.
Yeah, maybe people will go and think that cleared. Maybe the Lunar subterranean has given me nothing. Let's check Bahamut. People like that, it might go and be a meme some days, but other days it is the truest source of value. And it's not like this isn't the first time that Dusty got burned by someone going to Cave Bahamut before him.
We'll see if we can get dobbytwostep in here for an interview shortly. All right, let's pull him in here right quick. dobbytwostep, GG's.
Hey, thank you.
So I'm sure most people are curious. We all know there's typically value in Cave Bahamut. It's a popular meme. But to see Gauntlet there and go for it, what was going through your head there?
Nobody's going to do that. So I'm going to do it. Get meta.
You found a good equilibrium there. How did that seed challenge you, not really having any black mages to speak of? No real AoE. How did you have to adjust your strategy and your playstyle?
Man, just punch it. Focus and punch it. That's about it.
Line the cause of and solution to all the seeds problems?
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, you just punch everything, and you got 2 white mages, and you're good. And you got the best white mage in game in Forum, so come on.
I mean, we were actually, we didn't expect her to do that much work use Aroma's 5. Then we saw her fling in those holy spells, and you clearly value her as a full member of the team, not just a little punching bag.
Well, I like the hybrid strategy. I like full reflect. That's my preference in any Z fight. But 3 Zerkers, 2 white mages that have white, might as well go full hybrid, and it goes ASAP.
Well, this first place finish puts you in great shape. You had a second place, and now a first place, so you're at 10 points, guaranteed a minimum of 11, looking great to make these playoffs. When is your final match? Who are you playing, and how do you feel going into it?
The final one, well, this one I was really nervous about, but the final one's with Magus, so yeah, that's going to be fun. And I got Chokostura and Error, so that should be a really good one. And that'll be on the 17th.
Okay, so a week from today. Good to know. Well, good luck with it. I mean, you beat one of the legends of the game tonight. You took down Dustygri, our World Series reigning champion. And so go take a shot at that Highway to the Zenith Zone reigning champion as well. We'll be looking forward to that match.
I'm scared of everybody, dude. Not just Dusty.
Look, we need someone to go and keep Magus from getting 16 points. And I after tonight, I'm putting my faith in you.
I'm gonna try. My bad. But thank you guys.
Thank you.
GG's again. So we're seeing here, by the way, peasants just did not want to beat up that poor water hag. Gauntlet, sure. Water hags, no, they're okay. So having to walk back down here, but still ahead of his remaining competitors. Keddril still has to get both halves of the crystal. Dusty, ooh, where are you flying, Dusty? Okay, Dusty is going to cave Bahamut, not outthinking himself this time.
Yeah, I'm expecting he's thinking it's not going to be a moon chain. It's going to either be Bahamut or it's going to be ordeals. There's no way someone's going to come up here, go through all of these awful, terrible bosses, get the stuff that I have, and then do Baron and still be done before me. I don't think there's a way you could really do that.
The real question, though, is when Dusty sees the blue shirt here, does he go to ordeals? Because Gauntlet still, like, you have to wonder, are you neck and neck with everyone else at this point? How's your seed been? How many places have you gone that you didn't need to?
Yeah, Dusty knows he cleared all of the Earth with the exception of ordeals. He cleared all of the Lunar subterranean. It's not many places, and he's sticking with it. He's willing to bet it's here.
Or he just, like me, completely forgot that ordeals was a thing. Also very possible.
I mean, it is a terrible vacation spot. But meanwhile, we see peasants is going down into the Zeromus fight. I don't think he stopped crying, so I think he must be confident in his level.
I mean, with this team, you don't have to worry about it too highly. Just get a Cure 4 access on Rosa, and zerk your way to victory.
Indeed, though, if he gets an errant high roll, he might go and have to retry this fight, which could cost him time, and Dusty's just going to be bearing down on his heels. Yeah,
well, I'm pretty sure Dusty didn't do ordeals, because I think he would have kept the hook if he had.
Yes, I believe Peasants is the only one who did ordeals.
Yeah.
Look, Smith, we don't talk about Kane stays and vacations because he doesn't go and take off his helmet except for dramatic poses, and really, he just sits on the mountain because that's the only place he can take off his helmet.
Yeah, and Niram pointing out in chat some scary HP values there. Of course, the Zeromus fight, the Big Bangs will typically come out at one of three strengths. If you correctly nerf it, it'll come out with a max damage of 1200. That's 4 hits, up to 300 per hit. Most of them in the rotation can do up to 8 hits for a maximum of 2400. And then, of course, there's one every 3 or so, depending on where you are in the rotation. It comes out with 9 hits for a maximum of 2700 damage. Every one of these characters, only one of Peasant's characters breaks that 2400 mark. So if this fight gets to one of those 9-hit Big Bangs, it's going to be very scary for Peasants here.
Yeah, and he doesn't even. I don't think he has Cure 4 on his Porum. Porum goes down to an unnerved Big Bang. This might be good for Peasants because that's one less person to try and heal. No, he's bringing her back up. This is going to be a very scary fight for Peasants, I feel.
Yeah, and of course, having that Kane as the agility anchor, I don't know if he may have started with a Dwarf Axe or if he may have, it really has the Avenger going right now. But these hits aren't even breaking the 2000 damage barrier. So this is not set up to be a very quick fight. And I don't think either Rosa, well, like you said, Porum doesn't even know Cure 4. I don't think Rosa knows Holy if you wanted to try to flip things over and, maybe do reflect strats past a certain point.
Yeah, that's just a reset from Peasants. Most of his party got wiped. I don't know if he's going straight back in or if he's going to stop, calm down, and do one or two grind. He's going to do 1 or 2 grind fights. I like this. Did
Dusty not beat the gauntlet? I don't see the adamant marked off.
I believe he beat the gauntlet. I saw him go and exit out. Oh, he's coming back for Bacchus Blinds.
Oh, okay. I'm like, why is he coming back to them? Okay. Drinks. Makes sense.
He forgot to go and check in with some brewer bunnies to get some bunny buckets.
So this is a chance for Dusty to overtake Peasants. Dusty, first and foremost, has the pass. Doesn't have to come back and walk the moon. And as far as levels, well, we'll get a good look at them in just a second.
Yeah, he did go and clear Ogopogo, so he got a little bit more experience in Peasants, but he also hasn't done a dedicated grind, so he's in the 46s. He's got okay levels. He's got a Rosa at 2200 HP, which is more than Peasants has, but not quite with Dobby.
And notably, he has that crystal ring on Rosa, so she is at 29 agility, almost as perfect an anchor as you can get. So I think Dusty is going to sail through this Aramis fight.
Yeah, he's definitely going to go and be in a good, solid position for it seems. But Peasants has done his grind fight, and we'll see if he's going to go and take more levels. He's at similar levels to Dusty, but he's going to take another fight, and I don't blame him. His Rosa is still below 2200 HP.
Yeah, at least, of course, being at the 10 key item mark, getting so much XP per fight here. But Dusty's coming.
Dusty is relentless, and Dusty is going to go, and he really doesn't like taking less than second place. I don't think he's gotten that. I think he's only gotten seconds and first, and I don't think he's really interested in taking a third at any of these races.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he has 1 first place and 2 second places. Another second place here would put him at 13 points, which is very, very, like, you're making the playoffs. You may even get to draft your group with 13 points. So let's, yeah, if this fight goes smoothly, Dusty will have overtaken Peasants. Keddril, meanwhile, is in the right spot to get half of his crystal. Will still need to come back to Earth and give the people their music if he wants to get that crystal forged.
And with the gap between finishes, he might think that that legend is somewhere other than Twin Harp, which could set him back a bit more.
There is Holy on Rosa at least, if not Porum. So Peasants should be rocking 2300 plus HP on Rosa now. And I feel in much better shape for this fight. But Dusty's already entering it. That pass making a huge difference tonight.
Yeah, not checking Water Hag definitely is not doing Peasants any favors tonight. Unfortunately, he skipped a number of bosses, and some of them turned out to be the correct skips, like Kanizo, and some of them did not go and pay out for him.
Yeah, and Peasants, of course, first one of the moon did such a great job clearing out these lunar bosses. But just where the items fell, that Twin Harp, which was skipped, and then that Gauntlet, which was initially skipped, you have to make gambles if you want to win your race. Like, Dobby came here and said, I saw the Gauntlet at Bahamut. No one else is going to do that. I'll do it. Won in the race by at least looking to be 15 minutes at this rate. So make your gambles. Commit.
Yeah, that's... You need skill to go and get to this point. There's just no denying that you have to be good in order to be able to compete against any of these people. And then when it comes to that point, you need any edge you can get. These gambles are definitely where you can find your edge.
Dusty's fight here starting very nicely. Both Canes getting Wine active. Silkweb on Rose's turn, going out after Ultimus's immunity has dropped.
Very nice and very clean. And Peasants is getting into his fight now. This is going to be... I don't know if Dusty has Holy on his Rosa, so Peasants might be able to go and get a bit more time in by just going and blasting Zeromas harder and not getting more big bangs. We'll see how this goes for him.
Dusty hoping to get this Cure 3 up before the big bang comes out. With only 700 HP, that red cane will be hard-pressed to survive even a nerf big bang. Ooh, so close. So that's going to take a little bit of setup and recovery if Dusty doesn't want to just leave that source of damage on the ground. And that gives Peasants a little chance here to possibly have some recovery action here.
Yeah, if Peasants goes and just gets his damage out faster and doesn't need to recover, he's going to go and be able to maybe snipe Dusty. This is going to be a close nail biter. Meanwhile, keddril looks like he has finished the gauntlet and has found his adamant. He just needs to go and find that legend sword wherever it is. Well, we know where it is, but he's going to be looking at the number of checks he has left and trying to guess where.
Yeah, given again that the first place finish was just shy of 1 hour 15 minutes, I'm thinking keddril's not going to pursue that Baron key. Kind of leaves Ordeals and oh my, yeah, Ordeals and Twin Harp, and there's the Ordeals part of it.
It's unfortunate, but it's not. It's hard to go and say this is the wrong call because it's a free open spot that is available to everyone in the game. It's just not going to go and reward him right now.
Blue Bear pointing out in chat that Peasants doesn't have Bacchus Wines, so to get any of his characters zerked up, he'll have to rely on his white mages. So that kind of puts the ball back in Dusty's court here. But ooh, with big bangs coming out like that, better be careful with that return.
Yeah, this is looking. This is going to be a nail better for both ends. Maybe pointing out that keddril didn't really save outside of Ordeal, so he's just going to go through all this. We know it's a hook, so he's probably not going to want to reset out of this anyways, but it is going to take a little bit of time for him.
So, little difference here. Peasant still has both white mages up. Dusty has lost his, but that's partly because he has already reached the second big bang of the fight.
Yeah, I can see Dusty just not being interested in trying to go and keep getting Forum up, lifing her up, going in Starvale, and then just having her die to big bangs. He's probably just thinking, now's the time to go and ride Berserk, damn it.
Another big bang. How big is this one coming? Okay, not so bad on that one. That was one of those 8-hit ones and got some good damage reduction and evade.
Yeah, I can still see Dusty not liking the looks of that 1900 on Rosa, though. That is a scarily high number.
Especially since that Cure 4 split 4 ways didn't quite top everyone back off here.
Yeah, he may.
Black hole. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying he may need to throw a Cure 3 to go and augment this to get no key starting up Berserks to get going again. Meanwhile, Peasants is jumping with his Dragoons and throwing with his Edge just to go and pull out whatever damage he can because his Rosa's at 1800 HP. She might need to just heal with this next action.
Ooh, and there goes one of Dusty's canes down to 3. But does have a whole bunch of HP on one of those canes. And looks to be waiting till right before the big bang to throw out another Cure 4.
Yeah, he's going to be in a very, he's in media phase. He does not need to worry about big bangs. He just needs to survive this.
Oh yeah, don't even do that Cure 4. Heck, throw a white spell for swag if you want to. Another 3,000 hit by that Edge. Woo! There's the flash after Kane swings. Dusty coming in second place, bringing it from behind with a 1 hour, 33 minute, and 9-second finish. We're going to see if we can get Dusty in here in just a minute.
That is definitely a very, very solid finish. Peasants is meanwhile still in the fight and still continuing to get through it. He is making progress. Ooh, though that's taking down his edge. That is going to be a bit unpleasant for him.
I do like how the color palettes on these canes kind of match the Meteo spell itself in the Free Enterprise GG emote. Very color coordinated seed tonight.
And they both rain from the sky.
Hey.
It's like that emote was made to honor Kane.
Keddril getting a little bit of bad news here, but gonna be able to get some mileage out of that Avenger. The question is, where is that Legend Sword now?
And it looks like he is going to go to get that legend. He's hovering, he's sitting there. It looks like he's going to go for it.
Excellent. Keddril on his way. Of course, we know that's where the Legend Sword is. We'll put him in go mode. Looks to be in good shape to finish this race. Not too far behind Peasants at this rate.
And speaking of Peasants, he's taking another big bang as I hope he's just waiting for, oh, he's coming down to Rose's turn and she's going to throw a heal to go and bring this party back up. Not quite in Meteo phase, so not getting destroyed by rocks yet. He's grinding through this. So as Rosa is now at dangerously low HP, she might, if a big bang comes out now, she might not survive it.
And we are joined by your second place finisher tonight, Dusty Griff. GG, Dusty.
Hey, GG's.
So I'm curious, during commentary of that race, I forgot that ordeals existed probably about half a dozen times. And when you had to make that choice between Cave Bahamut or coming back to Earth for something, the only thing you really had left, other than Baron Key, which is kind of out of the question with that 115 finish, was ordeals. What made you decide to just grin and bear it and go through that gauntlet at Bahamut?
Honestly, I got into the fight, and the first thing I was like, oh no, I started the fight, got through like one set, I was like, do I just reset now? Do I just reset now? Do I just reset now? 114, like any time on this flag set, especially with this group of racers where so many are so efficient and have different routes and everything, it's really hard to metagame it unless you know who the racer is and what they like to do. So I was kind of thinking it was ordeals. I just said I'll do this for the hell of it, and wow, was I surprised. I was both surprised and happy and mad at the game for having that adamant there. Yeah, it was a weird mix of emotions, but yeah, that was a very bizarre scene. I definitely need to watch back Dobby's play to see how he routed that, because it's really interesting that adamant was there. I really would not have thought it was there, and the reason that I had started the fight and kind of just went with it was the only reason, by sort of luck, that I continued on there, because I really, by my own routing like ideas and whatever, I should have exited out immediately and did ordeals. But yeah, that was very interesting.
I'm really hoping Dobby watches it back as well, because Smapey rolled like every possible rude boss in the Lunar subterranean, and Dobby was like, okay, like somehow Gauntlet, it was the least terrible boss.
Right.
And just dodged all of those. Beautiful, beautiful moon tonight. In any case, though, that was your fourth race. This puts you at 13 points. You're clean sailing into the playoffs at this point. You might even be drafting a team. What do you intend to do for the next week or so while you get to actually have a little downtime from the game?
Maybe relax for a minute. I'll still probably practice, maybe do my seed a day that I've been doing, or chill out a bit on it. But yeah, it's I've been kind of trying to just do a seed every day and continue. But at this point, I have an idea of what my route is, or my routing ideas are pretty well not set in stone, but they're not changing dramatically or anything now. So practice is just more or less to stay on top of my game a little bit. But yeah, this it's nice to have a break for a little bit for now, because these races can be stressful. When you see that, especially when you first see that first dot done roll in, a lot goes through your mind.
Well, you knocked out of the park tonight, going through all those, like, again, I think if any racer, I mean, clearly, of the racers who went through all the Lunar Core bosses, you were the first one to finish, so just speaks to your skill again. Thank you for putting on a great show, and we'll look forward to seeing you in those playoffs.
Hey, thank you so much, and GG's to the other racers, and thank you guys for commentating and restreaming this.
Indeed, GG's to you as well. That was a very, very nice second place finish.
Hey, thank you, GG's.
And during that interview, Peasants did take a wipe. Apparently it was a back-to-back big bang into Meteo that sent his team for a loop. You hate to see that happen, and it is giving keddril a little chance here to catch back up. keddril has reached go mode. Don't forget your crystal. There we go. And so hopefully this fight goes smoothly for Peasants. You always hate to see his aroma swipe, but this is giving keddril that chance to strike.
Yeah, though, it's a good question for keddril. How much does he need to grind? He cleared all the moon himself and is now in a position where he should have a fair amount of experience, but I think he's going to go and take some levels. This is not a... this is a seed that you don't want to go and just take it lightly.
Ooh, another big bang. Rosa is still standing, though. Still got the Zerkers rolling.
We didn't find any real exceptional gear for Rosa this seed. We didn't find anything like a white shirt or a life staff. Does she even have a lunar staff at this point?
Honestly, not sure. That is one thing I kind of noticed, by the way. Both Dobby and Dusty were very judicious in their looting this seed. I think both of them came in under 60 treasures. And honestly, when you get that underground access and when you're getting, you know, really great rings, really great spears from these relatively benign overworld checks, it makes you even less likely to keep checking treasures. So I could see people cutting off before they really got any good mage gear on their hands.
And when Rosa needs to keep up 4 people, that, you know, an extra 10, 15, 20 willpower could be very important, which might have been going in costing Peasants a bit.
Oh yeah, I will never speak ill of a white shirt anymore. Even if I fight a rude boss for it, I'm like, yes, I will take that plus 15 willpower. Give me that.
The willpower, the magic defense, the very, very iconic look that doesn't get shown in the game. It's definitely a high value piece. I was very happy when Coco Smith sells them on occasion. I will always buy at least 1, maybe 2.
Oh yeah, I mean, I'll even throw them on my Cecils. That magic evade and defense. I mean, not that Cecil really needs it at Zeromus with how much HP lugging around, but just to temper that damage even a little bit is so fantastic.
Absolutely, that's it's not very common that you go and have Cecil in a situation where he wants to use a white shirt, but I will have absolutely done that myself, where it's the best thing I have for Cecil. I would really like for him to not die.
Now, one thing I am curious about here is really the value in trying to get Forum back up. Like, even if you get her up, even if you get a Cure 4 on her, it seems that by the time she gets a turn, another big bang is coming out. You probably want to try to time that right around the black hole part of the script. Otherwise, I would be letting my edge just take those melee attacks.
Yeah, it seems very hard to go, and she's just 1400 HP is just not quite enough for Forum to really do anything in this fight, and that is very unfortunate for Peasants because he needs Forum to go and berserk his fighters. This is costing him a bit, and keddril is getting into the fight now.
There's that black hole, so this is a really good chance for Peasants to get a little usage out of this Forum if he wants to. Try to get those berserks reapplied, but keddril's on his way.
And he's got a decent shot to go and snipe third if he's gone and picked up Bacchus Wines and is ready for this fight, because Peasants is just trying to grind through it. He's just trying to go and get pushed through it however he can. He's kind of slowly getting through it, but not making a lot of progress quickly. But while we go and watch this fight, Z, if you are going and watching thinking, wow, these races look fun, I kind of wish I could have gotten in on this, there is another opportunity for you. We might not be able to go and join the league, which is already underway, but there is another tournament starting called the Hoppin', also known as the Hummingway Open. Registration will end tonight, and the only disqualifying event is qualifying for the Highway to the Zima Zone race. So if this looks fun to you, come and join. It's on our Discord.
And if you just can't get enough of watching these league races, well, have we got this Sunday, some really, really special matches prepared for you. At 9 a.m. Eastern tomorrow, first we have El Magus, the Fizz, Dragus, and Poidrak squaring up. Magus, the only racer who can still escape with a perfect 16 points. Pardon me. El Magus and Poidrak, the two racers who can escape with a full 16 points. So the Fizz and Dragus are going to be looking to play spoiler to both of them, as well as get all the points they can. At noon Eastern, we have Nightdew, Marth, the Fizz, again going back-to-back, and Moonblaze Wolf. I think that is the fourth match for Nightdew, maybe for Blaze as well. So another great match, racers trying to get all the points they can get their hands on. And then finally, one more triple header tomorrow, more or less. At 4 p.m. Eastern, we have Pizza, Ikir, Poidrak, and Error squaring off. So clear your schedule tomorrow, wake up bright and early, and I believe we also have a third place finisher.
Indeed, we have Peasants finishing in third place with an official SRL time of 1 hour, 45 minutes, and 18 seconds. GG to Peasants.
GG's.
And we are joined by Peasants OMFG. GG Peasants on your third place finish.
Thanks, man.
How did you feel about that moon?
I think I'm a bad player. I hated that moon a lot. It was so slow, and then I reset out of the gauntlet, and I did ordeal.
I was making the comment, it's a pretty mean moon when the gauntlet is your best fight there.
Yeah, the gauntlet was my best fight, and I still reset out of it. Like, I'm glad I had the illusions, but I used all 20 of them that I bought, which is pretty silly.
That moon was a meat grinder. You have Evil Wall, Asura, Antlion, Ogopogo, Balthalis. There is not a single boss in there that you think, oh yes, I'm glad to see them on the moon.
I thought it was going to be a mean moon because there was a few free bosses already, but then I didn't think it was going to be quite as nasty as it was. All in all, I don't think I played pretty bad, especially in the Z fight. I'm not very happy with that. I don't know why I tried to go in so early. I saw the dot done, and I was like, gotta go, and then I ended up wasting more time.
That is definitely a thing that can go and get people where the more you wait and the more you grind, the more opportunities you're giving to someone else to finish. I don't blame you for going and thinking, I have to go. And I also commend you for going and recognizing, I can't go. I have to grind. That is a very important heads up play, and I commend you for making it.
Thank you. The second wipe shouldn't have happened though. That was just very, I got the bad nukes on I mistimed my slows, and then I got a nuke onto Rosa, and then went immediately into a meteor phase. It was just such a comedy of errors.
That is Big Bang into meteor phase kills a lot of people.
Me in particular, all the time.
Do you have any other standout moments in this seed that you want to talk about?
don't know. I think I reset out of a lot of things that I usually would stick around for, which is kind of good. Like I recognize that like I wasn't going to waste time on Kanazo, and a few other things like that. Like that I was like, if I can't do it, I'm not going to do it. Which ended up costing me with Gauntlet, but probably should. I don't know. I don't really know what I was trying to say there. I'm just.
Well, it's still important to go and recognize I'm not going to go and do well in this. I'm just going to go and leave and come back in a better time. That's,
Yeah.
Again, that's a heads-up play.
Ugh, yeah, I suppose.
Do you have any final thoughts on the seed?
Wasn't a fan. I hope next seed is better for me.
I do have one quick question. Did you think that it was an easy start? Where you're like, Smay, why are you making things so easy on?
Oh yeah, the start I thought was super easy. Like having like Magma Key early, getting sirens, having like good weapons for Kane. Like you can't really ask for anything really much better than that for moving around. So all the early checks were super easy, and then this got harder, progressively worse and worse for me.
Well, GG's again. I will go ahead and let everyone know that your next match is scheduled for August 12th at 7 p.m. Eastern against Mechalink, Poidrak, and Big Dunka. So that'll be your fourth match. Right now, I believe you are sitting with 8 points. Is that correct?
Yep.
Yeah. So, of course, you'll be coming out there trying to take, a first or second, get up there into the double digits for sure. So everyone come on out and see Peasants take his vengeance against this unruly moon for sure.
Yep.
And we did have keddril finish during that interview as well with a 1:45.18, and I believe we are joined by him as well. GG keddril.
GG, I'll jump out.
Hey, that was Peasant's time. Mine was a little bit later than that.
Oh, I apologize. Yes, 1:48.24. I apologize. You are absolutely right.
That's all right. It was basically a full clear for me. I think the only place I didn't go was Baron.
Yeah, that was it's unfortunate that you ended up skipping that twin harp for so long.
I know. That's like when I did the underground, which was, I don't even remember where I got Darkness Crystal from.
Darkness was from Earth, which was from Feymart's chest.
Okay. So available super early. And then I kind of just petered around in the underground for a bit. Then I was like, oh, I really don't want to go Twin Harper or Deal. So I went to the moon and then did everything except for what counted until the end.
And that moon was mean. That was GG's to you for getting through that moon in general. Quick question, just as a poll of opinion, what was your favorite boss on the moon?
Oh, probably any of the ones that I had to use Blink a million times for.
Is that all of them?
Yep. Yeah, they were pretty rough. They weren't very fun.
I believe the Gauntlet was the nicest fight you found on the moon.
Yeah. Did, like, how many other people full cleared moon?
Everyone except for dobbytwostep. Dobby went straight to Bahamut, saw a Gauntlet, and decided, well, yes, it looks like that looks like an absolute source of endless misery and suffering. Let's do it first.
Yeah, I like that play. And he probably did Twin Harp first, I imagine, with that insane time there.
Yeah, both Dobby and Dusty looped Twin Harp into Earth Crystal, so they both had it before they went to the moon.
Ooh.
And Peasants did avoid the nope rope. He saw that nope rope and was like, no.
I've had enough fun with the Antlion, Evil Wall, and Ashura. I am not interested in seeing how more into paste my face can be turned into.
Yeah.
That seed was surprisingly mean for how generous it seemed at the start.
I know, the early Magma Key, I went on a hunt for sirens to begin with, just because I knew I wanted to do some grinding, just to get through anything that might pop up. And then I sort of just said, well, I found a tower key early on. Might as well do that. Might as well do dwarf. I figured with the early levels, it would all be pretty fast to fly through.
Yeah, I believe you were the first underground, and I think you were the first person to successfully clear Kanizo. That stopped more than one runner the first time. So, and I believe you made it through your first attempt at it.
No, it was definitely my second attempt, and I definitely almost didn't make it through because his remedy was curing for like 1500, and my cane was only hitting for 13. So I kamikazed Rosa and crossed my fingers, and I got him just before he shot off another remedy. So Rosa was the MVP there.
Rosa showing that she is more than just a pretty face and a heal bot.
Yes, she also makes a good bomb.
Only because she is the bomb. Oh, GG again. Do you have any final thoughts on the seed?
No. You know, like I always say to myself, rando's gonna rando.
Yeah, you cleared as a lot of that seed. There are, I think, peasants tied you for the number of clears, but that was a lot.
Well, good. All right, yeah, that's probably it for me. Thank you guys for doing the commentary, and everybody, the Smafety for restreaming.
Indeed, and one last question for you: when is your next match?
Monday against Invenerable and two others whom I forget at the moment.
You also have Dragus and
that match. Yeah, Pizza.
Well, I wish you the best of luck in that match, and please go and steal points from Invenerable.
What is this?
I like going and having 12 points, and just you not having 12 points is a really enticing proposition to me.
I'm just trying to boost your strength of schedule even higher.
Well, Invenerable knows my strats now of full clearing everything, so if he avoids that, he's got it in the bag.
That's why I recommend getting into commentary. It's really all just about scoping out your future opposition, I promise.
True enough.
Again, GG's. Congratulations on the race.
Thank you. Have a good night.
It was a good night.
Well, that is about to wrap it up for us tonight. During one of those fights earlier, we did mention there are 3 matches tomorrow, all here on the Free Enterprise Network, starting at 9 a.m. Eastern, bright and early. Of course, we do have one of our English players and one of our German players both in that match, so it makes sense to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for our friends across the pond. Come on out and watch those. Maybe there'll be a seed that compares with this one in terms of lunar rudeness. Baka, you got any more thoughts this evening?
I think we're in for another great day of Free Enterprise. This was a very, very exciting race. Lots of going and seeing hard bosses cleared in very good ways. Might not have rewarded our players very well, but that was always good to see them just plow through the seed like the pros they are.
Absolutely. Well, friends, that is about all of Free Enterprise for tonight. We are going to send you over to our cousins, I'll say cousins, over at Randomania 2 with the Dragon Warrior Randomizer Tournament. In fact, one of our regular Free Enterprise players, who I think is entering the Hopen and has done tons of commentary for us, Z-Man 050778, is one of the racers in this match. So let's go give him our community adjacent love. And yeah, give his opponent some appreciation as well. Fun to see these randos. Let's all go over there and have a good time tonight.
Indeed, and show our love for another great randomizer.